I'm going to help you get your first victory in Civ 6. When it comes to Civ 6 and any other game really, every game has mechanics. A mechanic is an aspect of how one thing works in the game. And to be better at Civ 6 or any other game, you have to learn the mechanics and how you can use them to your advantage. Now here's a list of mechanics in Civ 6 that I put together. I'll continue to update this as I think about others or folks point things out. This is an initial list and it will get added to over time. And when Civ 7 comes out, I'll update it for Civ 7 as well. But I've included a link in the description as well. This is a public board, so you can go into the Miro app and see this board yourself, or you can pause to read it. On the lower difficulty levels, you can ignore almost all of the mechanics. The list can be overwhelming as there are so many, especially if you're a new Civ player. So don't get overwhelmed, and I'll walk you through a few key mechanics and a formula for you to get your first win. As you increase in difficulty levels, this advice is going to be less and less valuable. This is really about helping you win your first couple of games, maybe your first victory type of a specific type. Now, what I want you to do first is think about the victory type you want to go for. Again, this is not something you would do on a higher level, especially if you like playing random maps and random civs. But in this case, for that first win, I want you to pick a victory type first. These are your options. A science victory requires you to complete a number of city projects to launch satellites and explore space. You're going to focus on building campuses and have a few high production cities to crank out the city projects for space exploration. A domination victory requires you to capture all of the capital cities of all of the other civs in the game. You'll be building lots of military units and spending lots of time in wars with others. A cultural victory requires you to build theater districts, collect great works, plan a nature park or two, and spam rock bands, beach resorts, and ski resorts. A religious victory requires you to build holy sites and spread your religion to be the dominant religion to all the civs in the game. Diplomatic victories are not hard, but require understanding of more mechanics, and I would not pick that as a first victory type. It requires you to get 20 diplomatic points, which can be acquired through various means with the World Congress and Wonder Building. Score victory is the most annoying of all and takes the longest, as well as a concerted effort to not meet any other victory type or allow any other civ to get a victory. You can disable other victory types in the advanced settings, but I would not pick this as your first victory type. Once you've decided the victory type you want to go for, it's time to pick a leader and civilization. Every civ gets unique bonuses that you should try and align with the victory type that you're going for. Here are some recommendations. For science, I would pick Scotland, Germany, or Japan for a first science win. Robert the Bruce is pretty straightforward for Scotland. He's got a bonus to science. You're going to build lots of entertainment districts after commercial and science districts to keep people happy and get higher bonuses to science. Japan has two leaders that'll work for this, either Tokugawa or Hojo. They don't get direct science bonuses, but they get really good bonuses for building districts next to each other and late game production bonuses with a unique factory. So with that, you'll be able to build lots of campuses, get lots of extra adjacency bonuses, and it doesn't matter if you have lots of mountains around or reefs in the ocean to get those adjacency bonuses. You can get a +4 campus in the middle of nowhere without too much work. My third pick for a newbie in science would be Frederick. Now, Germany and Frederick, they're a production focused civ, not science, but a science victory requires significant production in order to win. And Frederick is really powerful in that regard, and he's got some great units that will help you get to the end as well. So for a science win, focus on building campuses in all your cities, even if they don't have a high adjacency bonus. Build enough commercial or harbor districts to keep positive gold flow. Have 2 or 3 cities that are high production with industrial zones, and add theaters as 3rd or 4th districts to keep your civics tree progressing. Make sure that you get the governor Pingala leveled up so he gets the bonus to space projects, and put him in one of your high production cities with a spaceport. Make sure to put 6 emissaries in any science-based civs that you find, as these give you additional buffs to your science buildings, and you will generate more science from those buildings. With 2 or 3 production cities, once you start unlocking the space missions towards the end of the tech tree, you're able to crank those out pretty quickly, have spaceports in each of your 2 or 3 production cities, and from there, you should be able to close a science victory. For domination, I would pick Macedonia, the Zulus, or the Romans. Alexander of Macedonia removes war weariness from all your cities. War weariness adds a negative amenities debuff to your empire and can really drag things down if you fight quite a bit. Shaka and the Zulus have a unique encampment district and a powerful early unit. They are also able to form corps and armies easier than other civs with the right civics advancements. And if you take a city, you can actually form them for free. Trajan, T-Man of Rome has a great unique unit, and they automatically build roads and monuments in each of the cities. So it allows you to ignore those mechanics, but still get the benefits from them like you knew how to use them. So for any of these 3 civs, focus on building encampments in your cities. That's going to give you great general points, more production, and more experienced units. Great generals should be used to accompany your armies wherever possible, although they're only good for 2 game eras, so you need to make sure that they're actually buffing your units. You can see this by looking at a unit that's near a general, and it should show you a +5 attack from the general. Once a general is no longer providing buffs to your units, you can retire the general and earn additional rewards that are different for each general. You'll also want to build a commercial or harbor district in most of your cities to ensure you have enough gold for maintaining and upgrading your units. There are also a couple of policy cards as well that can help you by reducing costs of maintaining units and reducing cost of upgrading units. You'll need to focus on securing strategic resources, iron, niter, and oil in particular, to ensure that you can build the strongest units. And in the end game, you're going to need some uranium for giant death robots. You'll need aluminum for advanced airplanes. Now, you need to spend some energy on science. You want to build campuses in at least half your cities, if not more. And that will allow you to stay up on tech, which will give you more powerful units. The last focus for districts is to build entertainment districts to keep people happier while you're at war and to help you absorb those new cities without getting amenities debuffs everywhere. Put 6 emissaries in any military city-states that you meet. This will give you bonuses to your encampments, even if you aren't suzerain of the city-state. Now you've got to go and capture each of the capital cities. You can ignore some of the other cities if you want to, especially when you only have 1 or 2 civs left to defeat. Just make a beeline for the capital cities and take those out, and you will win the game once you're in control of all of the capital cities. For a religious victory, I would choose Japan, India, or Russia. For Japan, you want to pick Hojo Takimun, not Tokugawa. Hojo gets a bonus to building holy sites, and he will build those faster. You get those same adjacency bonuses again as well, so you can build good districts with good adjacency bonuses anywhere if you build them in a little cluster. Gandhi gets bonus charges for missionaries, making it easier to spread religion with those missionaries. They also get double religious pressure from trade routes. Peter gets bonus faith from tundra tiles, and they have a unique holy district which takes less production and gives more great people points. For religious victory, start off researching astrology and scout as fast as possible to try and find any natural wonder, which will give you a Eureka bonus to discovering astrology. Once you have astrology discovered, immediately build a holy site in your capital. Be sure to build holy sites in each city as you expand. You need to focus on the religious-based civics in the civics tree, especially to unlock temples, which will then allow you to recruit apostles, which are needed to advance your religion. So building an early theater will help, in addition to monuments in all your cities. Start buying missionaries with faith and spreading your religion to neighboring cities. Cities will put out some pressure on their own, but sending missionaries will greatly speed up the process. Stop buying missionaries when you're close to unlocking temples. Once you've got that unlocked and you've built a temple, buy 3 apostles and use them to unlock the additional beliefs for your religion. Knowing which beliefs to pick is very situational. Do your best to pick ones that work with what you've got going with your game, with your map, and with your civ. Continue to build missionaries and apostles to spread your religion. Apostles get to pick an upgrade from 3 random promotions, and there are 9 possible promotions. You don't have control over which promotions appear, but proselytizer, translator, and debater are best for spreading your religion to other civs. If you do find the city-state Yerevan, you can get an ability to pick any of the 9 promotions if you get suzerain of that city-state. I always pick proselytizer if it's available because it is devastating to other civs' religions. If you get a debater, save one of the charges and leave the unit to act as a combat unit. Religious units can attack each other without being at war or causing war with another civ. Use the debater to attack and kill other religions, apostles, and missionaries trying to spread religion. Cities will lose religious influence of any religion when a unit of that religion dies next to a city. You'll also add additional religious pressure to neighboring cities by winning a religious battle next to those cities. And it won't eat up your unit. You can send apostles back to your holy sites to heal, or use guru charges out in the world so you don't have to always send them back, because they will only heal on holy sites within your empire. Continue to buy missionaries and apostles and spread your religion to others. If your religious units take significant damage, you should heal them before spreading, as spreading with a damaged unit reduces the power of the spread. If another civilization is sending lots of missionaries or apostles to a certain area, move in your debaters and a few backup apostles and start attacking their units. Continue to do this, you'll have a religious victory in no time. For cultural victory, I would pick Greece. Either leader is okay. Greece has 2 leaders. That's Gorgo or Pericles, Congo, or Eleanor of France. Pericles and Gorgo from Greece get cultural bonuses as well as unique theater districts which have a lower build cost. Movemba from Congo gets bonuses from relics, artifacts, and sculptures in a city, and you'll end up with many of these going for a cultural win. You'll also get more points towards great artists and musicians, which will help as well. Eleanor of France gets extra production to medieval, Renaissance, and industrial wonders, which are a major contribution to tourism needed for a cultural win. And additionally, tourism from all wonders is doubled. She also gets a special tile improvement that adds culture and tourism. To win a cultural victory, you're working on reaching very high levels of tourism. It's somewhat hidden from you and can be confusing to understand what exactly is going on. So for now, just understand that you want to create as much tourism as possible. You'll want to build theaters in every city, but those take a bit to unlock. So make sure you prioritize monuments in your early cities to get theaters unlocked sooner rather than later. Note that theaters unlock on the civics tree, not on the tech tree. Build a commercial district to start working on your bank account. You're also going to want some faith later on, so build a holy site or 2 and pick beliefs that add culture and faith. You do not want to found a religion, so if you get a great profit, pass on it. Don't found a religion. It will actually cause you problems later on if you're not actively spreading that religion, and you do not want to invest all your time in spreading that religion, but you are going to need faith later. Once theaters are unlocked, build them in all your cities. Building them next to wonders or entertainment districts gives you additional adjacency bonuses. When you upgrade your theater districts with the 2nd tier building, build a mix of archaeology and art museums, as these house different cultural items and will give you greater flexibility if you have a balanced mix of both. Continue to work on adding to your bank account, as you can use gold to buy relics, artifacts, and artwork from other civs. Building wonders will also help out in the long run, so build what you can. I'll often try to build a city or 2 with high production that can spam wonders as I unlock the ability to build them. When you have archaeologists unlock, you can build 1 in each town to go out and collect 3 artifacts from different sites that pop up around the world. I start collecting sites in neutral territory first, just because you have political problems if you try and excavate an artifact from another civ's territory. When you have to choose between two different civs for the artifact, pick different options as you will need this to theme your museum, and you want artifacts from as many different civs as possible. There's not a good way to keep track of what you've already picked without mods, so you'll have to either write them down or remember as you pick them. So I mentioned themes just a minute ago. Themes double the bonus of culture and tourism from the artifacts within a museum. Also works for artwork as well. For artifacts, you need to match artifacts from different civilizations and the same era. 3 artifacts, same era, 3 different civilizations. For artwork, the art must be in the same style, but has to be from different artists. So as an example, 3 landscape paintings, and each one needs to be from a different artist. Use your gold to buy great works from other civs. They don't ask a ton for them, and you should be able to acquire many this way if needed. Also, you want to send a trade route to each of the civs in the game. This increases the amount of tourism you create with those civs. In later stages of the game, start spamming beach resorts and ski resorts when you have those unlocked. The last piece to the cultural victory is unlocking rock bands. As soon as you unlock that, you want to start building rock bands. This is where the faith comes in because you buy them with faith, not gold. There's not another way to get them. You can only buy them with faith. Rock bands get random promotions, and these are important in identifying where you want to send them. Rock bands get sent to other civilizations to perform concerts on districts and wonders, and you should only send them to places where they get bonus levels from their promotions unless you have no other options. This is because they have a chance to disband at the end of each concert, and promotions help lower that chance by quite a bit. Once you're sending rock bands out into the world, you should be getting pretty close to victory. If there's a civilization giving you particular trouble, you might have to go to war to knock down their culture a bit. Try and capture cities with wonders and theater districts, as these will give you additional tourism. I'll briefly touch on diplomatic and score victories. I wouldn't recommend these for a first victory type. The short summary on a diplomatic victory: you've got to understand how the AI usually votes in the World Congress as you get diplomatic points for voting with the majority. And so you always want to vote for what you think is going to win, not what you actually want to happen. You want to create as many envoys as possible, and that will continue to build up diplomatic favor that you can then use in the World Congress. And the goal is to get 16 diplomatic victory points and then build the Statue of Liberty, which will give you 4 additional points, giving you the 20 needed to win a diplomatic victory. For a score victory, the only way I've been able to do this is to disable every other victory type in the advanced settings and then build the biggest empire. Go to war if needed, build all the things, have more cities, more wonders than everybody else, and be bored for a lot of turns until you hit the final turn and end up with the top score. Now, for any of these victory types, you've got to stay focused on your goal and don't get sucked into building a bunch of things that don't align to your victory type. If you really have nothing else to build, then fine, go nuts. But you need to make sure you are focusing on what's needed for the victory type that you're trying for and focus on building those things. Now, this approach is going to help you get wins on lower levels. From there, you're going to want to start learning more about more of the mechanics in the game and try and improve each time 1 or 2 of the mechanics. As you level up, you won't go in picking an exact victory type from the very beginning, as you'll want to see what's happening in the game surrounding the civ and who is around you before you actually pick a victory type. For example, you might be thinking a science victory, but you realize when you explore the map early on, there aren't many locations for great campuses, and you've got aggressive civs next to you that are going to require a significant military to keep them off of you. You might choose to switch to a domination victory instead. Watch this next video that explains how to start taking on higher difficulty levels.